I'm back, here to do another review, this time for Nintendo Land for the Wii U. Pretty much everyone wants a new Zelda game, lots of people want a new Metroid game as well, and who can deny a new Donkey Kong game? Although not what people expected, Nintendo Land takes all of these games and combines them into one, with 12 different mini-games for people to play. It's easy to pass by Nintendo Land, completely disregarding the game, since it looks like a casual title. I would urge those gamers to take a moment to reconsider. Nintendo Land is an unexpected gift from Nintendo, and a strong contender for the none-coveted award of the best minigame collection ever. Nintendo Land takes 12 different Nintendo franchises and turns each of them into a minigame, and 9 of the games can be played single-player and 6 can be played multiplayer. Some games, such as Metroid Blast, can be played both multiplayer and single-player. Each minigame features more depth than one could expect from a minigame. Games like The Legend of Zelda Battle Quest have more than 10 levels for players to traverse, each with different enemies for players to defeat. Donkey Kong Crash Course, an obstacle course game, has many courses for players to complete. Takumara's Ninja Castle has players killing tons of ninjas across diverse environments and multiple levels. This is just a few of the examples of the depth featured in the various games available to play in Nintendo Land. This is not your standard minigame collection that one would expect. Each minigame has an unprecedented amount of content that can take players many hours to complete. Apart from the single-player, multiplayer is of course available. 6 of the games can be played multiplayer, 3 of which are cooperative, and 3 are competitive. These games feature the asymmetric gameplay that Nintendo has been boasting about for so long. In competitive games, the player on the gamepad competes against the 4 players on Wiimotes. In Luigi's Ghost Mansion, for example, the 4 players on Wii Remotes must work together to track down the player on the gamepad, who plays as the ghost. Don't fret if there aren't 5 players available. The game does a great job evening out fields so that 1 against 1 is just as fun as 4 against 1. Cooperative multiplayer play is also available for some minigames, extending the idea of asymmetric play. A great example is the Zelda minigame. The player on the gamepad uses the bow and arrow to shoot enemies from the back, while the player on the Wii Remotes uses a sword and shield similar to Skyward Sword to defeat the enemies on the front lines. These modes are incredibly fun to play with multiple people in both gaming and non-gaming crowds. The best part about Nintendo Land is that when there aren't others present, the single-player experience is just as good as the multiplayer one. Farther extending gameplay is Pachinko and Stamps. Pachinko, Japan's version of pinball, allows players to use coins and various attractions to win prizes and memorabilia. These prizes can then be proudly displayed in your park for others to see. Not only is playing Pachinko very fun, but decorating your park is nice too. Stamps are also available to earn in the game. These are Nintendo's version of achievements. Many fans are already familiar with stamps since they were first introduced in Wii Sports Resort. Although not incredibly important since they aren't system-wide stamps, they're just in the game, stamps do give players extra things to do in minigames and reward players with coins that can be used for playing more Pachinko. Overall, Nintendo Land is the hidden gem that nobody expected to come out of the Wii U launch. Single-player attractions hold their ground against multiplayer ones, providing many hours of play. Playing multiplayer is always a blast, which makes Nintendo Land ideal for party settings as well. For all those looking for a great first-party game to play on their brand new Wii U, either by themselves or with their family, make sure to pick up Nintendo Land today. Nintendo Network 64 gives this game an 8 out of 10. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, it really helps, and see you next time for another review.